Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of the Lunatic Creative Podcast. My name is Jason Paul, and I am joined by the one and only
Sean Davis.
Hello, Sean. How are you doing?
Good.
Meet anybody cool lately?
Yes, I did.
Who'd you meet, Sean?
The other day at the Lakers game, I had the privilege to meet Steven Yeun from The Walking Dead, a.k.a. Glenn.
We're moving up in the world, folks. We were in an exclusive section of the Staples Center as the Lakers were on their way to beating the Detroit Pistons. And who did Sean spot? But I don't want to say short, but he was. The room had a lot of tall people because it's basketball. I think the fans skew a little bit taller.
Girls in heels.
Rick Fox was there, so the tension of the room. Andy Garcia. So we were, you weren't looking out for a smaller Asian man, quite frankly. But Sean spotted him, saw him, went up to him quickly, had the camera phone ready, and boom, we got a picture. And you can see that picture on Facebook.com and just search for the Lunatic Creative page. This is the newest addition to the Lunatic Creative suite on the interwebs. Facebook page that Sean so gratefully created and curates daily, post things. Sometimes with better grammar than others. Sometimes he doesn't know words. Sometimes he makes up words.
It's the excitement.
You'll know, depending on what it says, who posted it. But I think it has some charm in that way. And that pic, I just got an alert on Facebook. That post with you and Mr. Glenn is performing 95% better than any other post. So that's big. Our most popular post, maybe the most popular thing we've done so far, is that picture. So yeah, that was very cool. Was that like the coolest person you've ever met in person? Like the most relevant?
I think in terms of like what I like. Yeah. Before meeting, shout out to Craig Brackens, like awesome guy, awesome athlete.
But he wasn't
But it wasn't cool. It wasn't like something that like.
He wasn't a starter.
I meant like a Power Ranger or something. It was
Glenn, he's on the most, the most popular show there is today.
It was definitely exciting, man. He's a really cool character in The Walking Dead. If you've been watching The Walking Dead, they've been alluding to the fact that recently he died in the comics. Sorry, spoiler alert. But where they're at right now.
They're
like having all these he looks at the bat and apparently he dies by getting his head bashed in with the bat. He was in the cornfield backing up while the chaos was going on. Zombie came out of the side. Nope. Smashed his head in the rock. And then talking to him, I was like, yo man, you're like my favorite character. I'd hate to see anything happen to you, man. Every time you're about to die, I'm like, oh man, they can't kill Glenn. Glenn's the best. And he just kept telling me next week's episode, man, it's going to be great. So if you're all caught up, it's been getting really interesting in the Alexandria place, them trying to readapt to a new world or that this lady's creating. What is it? Is it good? Is it bad? Are they going to get rated? I think so. But it's cool because I got to meet the one and only Steven Yeun, who is Glenn and my favorite character. And I hope he doesn't die. And
a lot of people love him. He's a super nice guy from the interviews. I've heard him on other podcasts and TV shows. So it was a cool it was a run-in. It was a nice modern run-in, very relevant to your and I's interests. So
and the reason I think it was really cool is because in terms of like if you and me were in the zombie apocalypse, he's our character. You know what I mean? For your age group and your he's your character, like the guy who had the pizza delivery boy job to support his way through college or whatever he was doing, regardless. But like you really like break it down. And I'm like, man, why is Glenn such a good character? And I'm like, well, it's because Glenn didn't really have a purpose or anything. So like in this new, like in the previous world, I mean, he was a pizza delivery boy. So living his daily life, crunching it, grinding out. So now it's like. He's become such a badass in the zombie apocalypse that you like relate to him and you're like, he's such an awesome character.
He grew up like we're growing up, only he's growing up becoming a man under much different conditions. So yeah, no, I think he is a very relatable character. And he was the one who he hooked up with the farmer daughter chick, right?
Maggie.
Whatever happened to her? She dead?
No, she's still alive. Her sister
Are they
just
together?
recently died. What?
Are they together?
Glenn and Maggie. Yeah, they're like, apparently, I think Herschel married them in like the previous season, so they are married.
Because how can you break? There's no reason to break up during a zombie. Like you're not going to do much better. It's
like,
not
I like that guy's eyeballs are hanging out.
There's plenty of fish in the sea, but there's also plenty of zombies in the field. So I'm not going to go looking for them. So yeah, okay. So very cool. Facebook go. I don't know. Is it just backslash?
I mean, it's all code and stuff. It says
just Google
backslash pages.
Just search in the search bar. Just put Lunatic Creative. Just join it. Join the group. Like the page. And then it will come up on your feed or mute us from your feed, whatever you want. But we post relevant stuff.
We post and
anything that's happening during the day. Sean's pretty good at curating it, throwing it up there. So it keeps you well informed. It's not very few self-congratulatory shit. I mean, we'll post on there when a new podcast goes up, but it's not going to be, about us or anything. And so we're going to keep you informed that way. We keep you informed via the Twitter at Lunatic Creative whenever a new podcast goes up. We can be reached at Gmail on lunaticcreative@gmail.com. They can be found on the interwebs, www.lunaticcreative.com. We can be found and listened to on iTunes. Just search for Lunatic Creative. And RSS feed us through your podcast app of choice on your Android device. I use Podcast Beyond.
Yeah, there's a ton.
I believe.
Just found out that
Beyond Pod or I Love Pod. Podcast Addict I use. There's a lot of different ones, but we have an RSS feed. It's simple to use. So just add it. Search for us there, and you should be able to add us there. I don't think there's any other podcast with the name Lunatic Creative.
Pocket Casts. That's the big one.
That's a big one, yeah.
Pocket Casts. Shout out to Matt Jackson. He told me that. I would tell him I'd make a shout out to him because I had no idea, and I even freaking cell phones that you could get freaking podcasts for Android.
You didn't know you could listen to a podcast?
Well, no, I thought it was like such an exclusive thing. Like that's why it's called a podcast. Like if it's like I feel like if it's
for
pod,
an
yeah,
iPod.
for Apple and stuff. So it's like okay, only they have it because it's not like but you have an Oidcast or Droidcast,
Yeah, I guess the name just sort of is of the iPod era because that is where I started to listen to them. But now you can listen to them everywhere on the computer, in your car, whatever you want. So thank you for listening to this, folks. You can find me at that JPaul on Twitter. You can find at Duty John is Sean's, and your Instagram is what?
Mega John.
Cool. All right, let's get into the news for this week. Where do you want to start? Because it's been 2 weeks, so there's a lot to cover. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of interesting stuff. Do you want to start? Let's
start with trailers or movies first.
Chappie came out. I guess we should mention that. We didn't get to see it. It didn't perform particularly well. As we talked about in the last episode, Neil Blomkamp is signed on to do the Aliens. Aliens 3, I guess they're going to call it, right? Or they're going to call it Alien 3. And there was new news about that alien stuff, right? Sigourney Weaver commented.
She's like, I'm down. I like his work.
She seems pumped about it, which for I guess alien purists is a good sign.
And I know
she's such an intricate part.
I read. I mean, she's the franchise face, minus the alien.
Yeah.
But I read something like he said, I'm not trying to recreate it in any other kind of way. It's just my imagination of it. Like this movie would have taken off. And Aliens 2. And so, I mean, when somebody says that, it's like, regardless of you making it after that, you are trying to, like, I mean, I know what he means. Like, this is my rendition. I'm not trying to harm the original franchise. But it's like, let's face it. The third Alien was like a remake of the first one, but her surrounded by a bunch of dudes and no weapons. So elements of the first one. So it was very, like, same movie in a different place.
It seems like people don't absolutely hate the third one, but it can definitely be improved upon. And
I think we're going to see...
I think we mentioned it, but I don't mind. If you're going to improve upon things, go for it.
Everybody loves Aliens.
So Chappie came out. That was the big one. We're kind of in a lull movie-wise.
We haven't seen anything before.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything. The next thing, Get Hard's coming out this weekend, I believe.
But we still got to see Chappie first, regardless if it's mediocre.
Folks, promise you we'll see Chappie and we'll report back. I hope to like it because District 9 was such a favorite.
It's like the people... I talked to my buddy the other day. I was like, you like District 9? No, I hated that movie. My dad, who is like 67 now, he liked District 9. And my dad doesn't really get into scary or horror movies or movies like that. But my dad's like, this movie's really good. It's a lot like The Fly. That's why I liked it a lot.
It's a very simple... good story, and it has a moral lesson, and it's you care about the characters. It's fucking wonderful. So I'm hoping. I've seen mixed reviews. I don't know again, but like you said, District 9 was oddly polarizing among the general public. So maybe it's just a symptom of that.
I think it's tough to make a movie like that because it's like once you have something that's not human, want to become human or have emotion or act human, just like Pinocchio, it's the just about that's the originator,
Pinocchio.
So it's like one of those things where it's like people probably went in there like, oh, this is going to be just like Pinocchio, and something happens midway through the end, and you're just like, oh, no, they didn't do it right, or it sucked, whatever. But I still want to see it because Hugh Jackman's in it. It's got a really good cast, and I think it can be promising. I think it looks cool.
And just looking at what came out, Focus came out. Will Smith vehicle with Margot Robbie does not interest me, other than looking at Margot Robbie. Coming down the pike this week, because you should be hearing this on Thursday or Friday or Saturday whenever you put this up. Cinderella, it's live action. There's not much hype behind that.
It's what you're gonna see.
Yeah,
I think the acting is what you're expecting to see because, I mean, it's only been brought to life animated and some other shitty renditions of it. So I think we'll see a lot of cool visuals coming from Disney, and the acting will probably be, I want to say, mediocre. I mean, I don't even know. Cinderella's like one of those things. Like you've told this story over a billion times. We know what to expect.
You can't really fuck it up. So, or you can't. I don't think there's a ceiling on it. It's only going to be so good because the story's been told a dozen times.
And I think what's cool for our generation is like you and me, like the movies, those classic movies like Cinderella, Snow White. I'm glad to say that our version is the animated one. Like the cartoon, you know what I mean? Because it's like now this new generation is gonna see Cinderella. Oh yeah, I love the little mice. Blah blah blah. And they'll start mentioning actors' names, and you're like, whoa, dude. I know just the cartoon characters. I don't even know who played their voices.
It's gonna be like CGI,
yeah,
right?
Of course, live action.
We grew up and we had access to a lot of the glory years of Disney animation. And that, The Lion King, Little Mermaid, like we had right when they caught their stride again after their 80s lull, from the late 80s through the mid 90s, they really owned shit. So you're right there. I don't think it could beat ours. And they got things like Frozen for the new generation. So no worrying about Disney here because they have a little franchise called The Avengers who had a new trailer.
Balls.
Yeah, it got people hyped. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. One, I was surprised it was coming out it's already March. It's coming out at the end of April. That snuck up. That snuck up. No, it's like April.
Maybe out here, little premieres closer.
On the trailer, it's.
I know AMC's doing like a huge marathon.
End of April. Yeah, that's the opportunity to watch for
2 hours or 2 days. I'm sorry,
about 2 days. All 11 Marvel movies.
You win a medal. What is it? An Avengers badge. You survived.
You need a shower at the end, not a medal. So, but
eight buckets of popcorn, maybe a trash can full of popcorn.
Yeah, the food. How are they gonna smell? I don't know. That sounds like an awful idea.
You have to fall asleep through the first Hulk movie if they play that garbage. Well, I'm gonna take a break here.
What do you mean? I thought the Hulk movie was supposed to be good.
Well, the Edward Norton one's better than the first one.
Well,
so if they play the first one.
No, they're not. The first one's it'll start with Iron Man. You can snooze through those Thor movies when Hemsworth and and Loki are just talking. And
Loki, my brother Loki. Hello. Give me some more of this amazing.
My hammer brings us closer together than the fogs of the gods before us.
Brother, you are crazy.
They're but specifically for the trailer, it looked great. It looks like all the ancillary, like Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch. What's her name? No, is that right?
They show
who's Scarlett Johansson's character?
A Black Widow.
Black Widow. That's what I meant. They seem to have bigger roles. I think Black Widow looked like she was kicking some ass and then picking up some slack.
And then she was about to kind of in a weird physical moment kiss.
She should be
the Hulk.
Hey! If I'm the Hulk, why not?
In Bruce Banner form, of course.
Oh, it was Bruce Banner form.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not as interesting. That's
but
not
still,
as visually interesting.
I just sees the Hulk, whatever.
Fucking Mark Ruffalo, of course he can get her.
I know, it's like, who's gonna get her? It's like, I think that's gonna become more important.
That would be a cool fight, but I guess, Iron Man's with Gwyneth, right? Or did they?
Yeah,
Or are they still together? I don't know.
I hope she's not in it.
I like
pointless.
how these movies, the romance is, it takes a backseat, as it should. Because that's not what they're about. They're about cool fighting scenes and telling,
But the trailer's great because, like, it finally answers questions like, okay, we obviously figured out that the rumors are true. Tony Stark did make Ultron, or he had this plan to create this Ultron thing.
Yeah, so it seemed like he created it for the purpose of never having to, like, go to war with villains.
He probably did it after 3, because after 3, he kind of, like, quits being Iron Man. So after 3, he was probably like, let me make one more safe haven thing so I don't have to be Iron Man again.
Or
and
it was something
he
he
creates
started.
artificial intelligence.
And of course, in a pure movie form, whenever you create artificial intelligence, it will ultimately turn on you. They should think about programming that into it to not do that. But we all have little missteps in life. But it looks cool. The action looks like it steps it up a notch. Looks like another city gets destroyed. I think living in one of these universes with these superheroes would be very terrifying. I would not live in the big city. I'm a big city person right now, but if there was fucking shit flying around, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go to Montana. I'm just going to hang out here.
I'm hang out in the Arctic for about a month or two.
And be like, I don't think Ultron cares what I'm doing here.
I think one of the most exciting things about it was near the end, the couple second sneak peek of Vision opening his eyes and then blinking.
Yeah, Marvel added like an end scene to their trailer. Like
that
they're teasing a tease.
I'm most excited for him.
So Marvel's got their shit together.
You were like, oh damn! You were watching it like this is yes. Oh my god, yeah. Oh god, and then.
They are masters of promotion and marketing. They get people out to the theater to see it, and then the movies deliver. So, if you want to learn how to run a business like a studio, kids, do it like how Kevin Feige and Marvel have been doing it, because they've been hitting it out of the park. And
I'm going to ask you a question about Avengers. So, end credit scene. Do you think it's going to be something showing them the final phase of 2 and show some kind of Ant-Man clip? Or show something that could lead to the next Avengers movie, or
it's gonna
show Spider-Man.
It's gonna show Spider-Man, and it's gonna be Civil War-y. There's something Civil War-y. I think the end of this movie is gonna create a divide, and then it's sort of gonna get. I think obviously it's gonna go in the government's hands, since the Civil War storyline sort of revolves around that. And I think we're gonna see Spider-Man, because it's not like there's effort. You just CGI Spider-Man swinging in. You don't even need to cast the guy yet. Or just a web, something. I think you want to show something there, because I think Ant-Man's gonna do. I don't think it's as integral to the rest of the movies as, I think you'd get more bang for your buck showing Spider-Man there than showing Ant-Man.
We already saw Ant-Man trailer. We know what it's going to be about. We know we're going to see Paul Rudd be Ant-Man. It's like, okay, showing us Ant-Man. It's like, we already know that's coming. Don't show me that. Show me...
Yeah. You want to see something Spider-Man. You haven't seen. You want to see something that would really get people talking out.
That would hype people like crazy,
because that's what everyone was seeing. That's what we talked about last time.
Or do we see the great and mighty Thanos again?
Putting
the gauntlet on. He got all the stones. Something.
I think he'll be shown during the movie at some point, right? They got to start.
I assume.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll make Guardians of the Galaxy references, or like.
That's another thing. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple references to something there. Or maybe a cameo somehow. I don't know.
Who knows?
Exactly.
We'll definitely see Stan Lee.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Good old 90 or some year old Stan Lee still kicking. What about Marvel? They're not going to be at Comic-Con this year. First time they're going to be absent from the event.
It's probably because of the event they had that showed like all their upcoming things.
Since Disney really throws in has their own things now, and now I guess Marvel had their own press conference, and we're sort of in the age where if your brand's big enough, you can throw your own conferences and sort of own the whole event and not have to worry about sharing time or spotlight, and you can own the media for that day.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I think it could be a little disappointing, but it's not like there's going to be a lack of things going on at Comic-Con. And Comic-Con has a lot of shit.
If they continue to do stuff like that, that's almost kind of good in a Comic-Con way. If it's like, okay, Marvel will make an appearance once in a while at Comic-Con, because it's so freaking hard to get in there, dude. Second year trying, couldn't even get in again after waiting on that digital online waiting room, which is crap. Don't ever do it. it'll, maybe dwell down and take out some people who want to go to Comic-Con.
Yeah,
so it gives other people a better chance.
And these are different things to do, like the Star Wars
Marvel
convention
Con,
that's coming up. These things are growing, and we don't. Comic-Con's up in the air because apparently, it's growing at such a rate, and they're at capacity, and they'd like to have more people, but they'd have to expand the convention center in San Diego, but I don't think the city wants to pay for it, and so it might end up in LA eventually, but that would be a nightmare traffic and parking wise, and there might not even be enough room there. So we'll see. I wouldn't surprise me if Comic-Con sort of splintered off, because there's WonderCons this weekend. Like, there's a bunch of different cons now that don't get as much pub as Comic-Con, but people flock to them in droves and sell these sumbitches out.
Do you want to, since we're on Marvel, do you want us to talk about the Daredevil trailer?
Yeah. Today, actually, I saw it. I guess it was released on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Daredevil, Netflix. We talked about the original teaser we saw, which was it longer than this trailer? This trailer is more
clips than anything.
This was more
trailer.
specific about the story. And it looks pretty badass. I don't know the actor. Am I familiar with the actor?
The only one I know is the girl from True Blood, the redhead girl. Her and the bald head dude who's playing Kingpin are the only two people that I recognize from other things. I think it'll be kind of cool to see a TV show of Daredevil, because Daredevil's always, fighting crime with justice as a lawyer. So, you can get all political with the episodes. There can be different types of episodes that touch on things that are happening nowadays going on with the world. So I think it's like a cool show to make a TV series. Plus, I don't know, he's one of my favorite superheroes. He's definitely top 10 for me, just because he's blind, and I think that's so cool.
I like that he's a lawyer, and sort of he has like a day job where he fights for, in the interest of the people, and then he actually puts his money where his mouth is and beats people up in the interest of human good. My question is, in the preview, he's getting trained by another blind dude or whatever. Does he have powers, or is this like a Batman situation
when they say,
where he's just good?
So for
where
example,
his senses are amplified because he's blind, and he can kick ass, or is there was he bitten by a radioactive?
I think it's chemicals.
Blind man.
After he was going to see, it's kind of like Batman, but with it's just like Batman, but literally no superhero powers. I mean, Batman doesn't either, so they share that common ground. But I think it's like, let's make him like a bat now. He'll actually be blind, so we'll throw that in there. So when he's blind, it increases his other senses. So his awareness will be really good, though, even though he's blind. Because his sound will be so superior.
Yeah.
It's like taste. I don't know what you can really get with that, but your smell obviously can lead you to the way to the crime of the scene, things like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, we're going to see amazing fighting. I think it'll be cool to see who trains him, and like the whole training aspect of the man without fear.
And
who's going to train the man without fear?
For this, I don't mind like the origin part of it being involved. Now, and then the origin part, it might be all through flashbacks throughout the season. It might be the first episode. It might be the first few episodes. So it's going to be interesting. And since it's Netflix, it's going to be nice to be able to consume it at your own pace.
Let us know on the Facebook page, will you watch it or not? Because there's a lot of cool stuff on there. You can watch it in your own time. And they're going to release all the episodes at once. So if you really liked it, you'd burn through it.
Yeah, I feel like this is kind of going to be a thing that people burn through in a weekend. I think it's going to be that popular, and it's coming out. Oh wow, it's April 10th.
It comes out next month. I'm
so
pretty
it's
excited
like
for it. We're definitely going to watch it.
It's and it's going to be a nice little hype for the Avengers. So the Marvel train has started to roll, folks, and it's almost officially summer when you see those.
It's
Marvel,
starting to chug.
When you see the Marvel things coming out. Are there toys for Daredevil? Are there
nothing yet? Coolest toys I saw recently on the toy hype. Obviously, I think coming out within the next 2 months is going to be.
Toys?
No, I saw some of the new Lego stuff. The cool Lego Avengers Tower. That's pretty cool. There's also the thing I'm most excited for is the Cable Marvel Select, and he looks badass. Just Google Cable Marvel Select. Such an awesome figure. Definitely try to get your hands on that. People are going to want to get it. I think pre-orders are selling out. It's a pretty badass figure, reminiscence to the X-Men Legends one from the 90s. Very similar, but I think they made him in this one a little more beefier, a little more masculine. He's got a real big chest.
His muscles look very defined.
Yeah.
He looks like he works out.
Yes, for sure.
Gold's Gym.
But look for that in the next 2 months. I know that's coming out.
Cool. So Daredevil, so I think we hit the Marvel stuff. And that, of course, is always, I think that's always going to be news on here, is the Marvel. Let's see. What about Marvel we talk about? So let's move to DC. We saw pictures of some proof that Jared Leto is in fact going to be Joker.
Transforming himself.
Sort of, yeah. He got the blonde going on. That was the first. Well, the first thing that came out was he cut his hair. People freaked out. Then they put blonde. Then they bleached his hair. People freaked out. And then we saw a picture where there might have been green in there, might
green
not.
dye.
It could have been a filter. Who knows? But it looks like he's being transformed. And then a female who's playing one of the parts in the Suicide Squad, a character I'm not familiar with. She also said something about it just, this is going to be just such a badass movie. And
I know it's supposed to be a heist movie. That's what I know about it. It's supposed to be a heist. The Joker is apparently going to be in Arkham Asylum, and they're going to try to escape or help escape the Joker. Now, I know Will Smith is going to be a really important role in it, and I know that's why Tom Hardy dropped out, because he was like, well, it's obviously focused on Will Smith a lot. So, I'm not going to see a Will Smith movie until this. I don't care to see Focus. Because, to me, he still needs to come up from After Earth. Because that's still in the comic booky sci-fi realm. Because that movie was freaking garbage. I know
you watched it?
No, I didn't even see it because that's how bad it was.
Good.
But I know it's such garbage. He being from Philly, the Fresh Prince. We love you, Will Smith.
Just don't mess it up. Amazing. Independence Day, Will Smith. I love Fresh Prince. Obviously, is my favorite Will Smith. I love that show. And then where Ali good. Hancock's where it really went off the rails.
Yeah, I didn't care for Hancock.
Honest, first half of Hancock, great, and then that middle part where the chick fucking knocks
What's
him
the one
out.
When he sells his organs and gives away his organs?
Oh, it's at 7 pounds.
Yeah,
something like that. I never saw that. Apparently,
it's a soft
all right.
one. It did well.
He's done really well until After Earth, and then Focus didn't do so well. So he wants to get back on top of the box office. That's for sure.
Bad guy superhero. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it really bad. We haven't seen him play a bad guy yet, have we? I don't think we have.
No, maybe an early movie like Enemy of the State. Was he?
That was just one of his first movies. Yeah, he was. They were out to get him because I thought he had a computer chip.
So yeah, it's
a
been
USB drive. No one knew what a USB drive was.
Yeah,
what is this?
When people were intimidated by USB drive, much like Independence Day, where Jeff Goldblum just typed on a Mac computer and somehow
I'm going to give it a virus.
People would not buy that shit today because we all had viruses on our computer, and
it's
it doesn't stop you from taking over anything. You can beat it. And then, Independence Day 2, there was some news with that.
Jeff Goldblum, a thing. Liam
Goldblum's
Hemsworth.
Back. One of the Hemsworth. That doesn't sound like a good. I don't know.
They just casted an African American kid too. Will Smith's son?
Never. Let's hope never again. Jaden Smith, he had his shot.
I think it'll be cool though because that little franchise only being in one movie had some pretty cool toys. The aliens were more organic looking. That you expected them to be not like humans pretending to be aliens, but they had those big heads. And I thought that the special effects at the time in the 90s was cool. The aliens were real, or real looking. There was minor CGI with the aliens. Only when they were fighting the ships and stuff, that was where the CGI was. But it was still, I thought it was that's a great movie. I'm glad I got to see that in a movie theater as a child.
There's a lot of practical effects because I think how they did the White House scene,
and it's a Ronald Emmerich film, right?
Yeah, and that was my favorite Roland Emmerich film. I mean, he sort of doubled down on that style of movie, but what was good about that was, Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith in it and sort of the characterization throughout it. And then, of course, the badass blowing up the White House scene. Right? That was it? Yeah. They blew up the White House? That was what they blew up?
When the helicopters were about... Then, it's like a remote control plane, and they're slowing down the frames, and it's
it looked sweet. Yeah, and that's how they did it too. It was all like just models, but it was badass.
Yeah, that movie's good. I like that.
Big Independence Day fans here.
And Randy Quaid's in it, the crazy drunk.
Oh yeah,
crazy drunk.
They brought him back, but he's not allowed in the country right now. He's in Canada. They won't let him back in. Thankfully, he went off the fucking deep end. I saw him. He posted a video and he put a mask of who? George Bush, somebody, a politician on his wife, and had sex with his wife on camera. It was weird. He's went off the deep end.
I mean, that story's just really hardcore.
It really shouldn't
That's like
surprise
a hardcore thing to do nowadays.
He always played the character off the deep end in the vacation movies.
It was the best when he had like the 6-pack like attached to his belt. Here you go, Clark. You want one, Clark? Yeah, dude. He's the reason why near the midway through all those movies that they kick it up a notch because they're like, oh, this dumb asshole again is going to be flopping around, making dumb comments, not knowing what the hell he's talking about.
What's your favorite? Mine is, I think, just Vacation.
I like Christmas. Christmas is good. I like Christmas first, then Vacation, then
I think Vegas.
The
is
Vegas
underrated.
one's the third one. I like the Vegas.
I think
one.
Vegas was pretty.
Oh, great though.
And
the European one's good too.
Actually, yeah.
I like all of them, man. Yeah. They all have their own thing. I think the most charming and like the Christmas one, I think holds the own as being like one of the best ones because it's like to the heart.
It's a Christmas movie.
It's such a Christmas movie, and it's always on during holidays.
But
that's one of my favorite
Vacation's
ones.
a good summer movie. Like it's definitely like it's reminiscent of.
And
summer,
I can't wait to make the new one too. I'm excited. I don't even give a shit if it's a reboot. The concept is cool.
Well, it's not a reboot. It's a sequel. I mean, Chevy Chase is gonna be in it, and Beverly D'Angelo, which I think she still looks pretty damn great for like 70 or whatever she is. Ed Helms, Christina Applegate. I'm pumped for that. I'm gonna see that. I'm glad to see Chevy Chase on the big screen again. While we were talking about DC, maybe we should mention that Batman Arkham Knight that comes out in June. It's gonna be a big video game release. It's gonna be rated M. None of the previous games.
The best next gen yet.
I think they're going sort of all in with this M rating. They're gonna. It's really just gonna be.
It's gonna be dark.
It's gonna be
dark,
be
what you want.
Violent, badass. You got the Batmobile. There's still people talking about
the Joker coming back.
Show up, but they showed a comic that's going to come out before they show Joker's body being put into the fire to be cremated. So they're really trying to double down on the fact.
But you know what?
They don't want people to expect it. But maybe he does show up.
He's still alive. The Joker.
But Mark Hamill did say he was done playing the Joker after that. But we'll see. He said he was done playing the Joker before.
He'll be back.
He's a great Joker. He's a great Joker. He shouldn't be done playing the Joker. Never.
People want that. It's like they're making the lead bad guy is
who are
Scarecrow. He's the main bad guy in it. So I think it's going to be dark because it's going to tap into a lot of the psychological elements of Batman and why he is Batman. But I mean, I'm excited for the gameplay. Maybe you'll see like a Joker DLC later because we already know you can play as Harley Quinn, and I'm hoping you can play as Robin because Robin's pretty tight in those games.
You could play as Robin in the last one, right?
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
I love the combat in those games.
Like the shield staff thing, it turned into a shield. He was pretty cool. I liked him.
And you play Catwoman in the last one.
Yeah, she was fun too.
The combat in those games are phenomenal. That's exactly how the combat should be in those, kind of beat 'em up games that sort of lost their way over the last couple generations. But thankfully, Batman brought them back, so I'm happy to.
And adds Metal Gear Solid elements to it. Like it depends on how you want to go into the scene. Yeah. Do you want to go in and just kick everybody's ass, or do you want to be the Batman?
And you should, you should try to be stealthy. You're Batman.
Where is he? Here.
Like you feel like Batman playing those games.
And that's why they're good.
And that's not like an easy feat to feel like Batman because there were games before that where you're just beating people up and there's no stealth element or there was some car element, but it was so I'm super excited to see what they do, especially because it's on the next gen systems only.
And Kevin Conroy is going to do the voice of Batman again, right? I'm pretty sure. Look it up real quick. Pretty sure because he's like, I think he is for me. Every time I think of Batman, he is the Batman voice. And then, I mean, Michael Keaton's probably my favorite Batman.
He is.
And then Christian Bale, but they both play certain parts of Batman better. Like I think Christian Bale's Batman is good. It's not great because I think it's too dark. Like, it's just too deep. Sometimes you're like, I didn't understand the thing you just said. And then Michael Keaton's had a real, more of a, I feel like a realer Batman type. Like, he wasn't as into the character as being Batman as Christian. I think Christian Bale overplayed it a little bit. Because when you hear them say, I'm Batman, Michael Keaton's is like, I'm Batman.
Yeah, he's certainly over. I'm Batman. Yeah, he went for it. That's for sure.
And his Bruce Wayne is like on point.
I think
like,
Bruce Wayne
he's
good.
Like the Rico
Bruce
Suave Bruce Wayne. He's like funny too, and I like that part of it. The other one is more of like the playboy. Like, yeah, I'm the rich guy, and these are these hot girls. I drive a Lamborghini. Like, the other one was more of. The original ones have a lot of detective part to it. Like, it had like really good elements to it, especially the original one with Adam West. But I'm definitely hoping Kevin Conroy will be, and I'm pretty sure he is. Did you find it?
Yeah, he is. He is.
Okay.
He's in there. So it's going to be
Alfred.
It should be one hell of a game. It's sort of the end of the trilogy. So I'm going to be excited to see what Rocksteady does after this. The original rumors were, since their name is Rocksteady, they might try their hand at Ninja Turtles game, which I think the combat would be perfect for. You can use some of the same elements too, so we'll see. But that's the game news. Is there anything else video game wise? I know Dying Light just got a patch.
Well, actually, Mario Party 10 was supposed to come out the other day, which was the 10th, and it got pushed back to the 20th.
Did it?
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, Mario Party's gonna play, and all the people in the house can play. It's gonna be fun, entertaining, little mini games. And I saw it got pushed back to the 20th.
Hold on, I'm seeing the 12th.
I just looked the other day. It said the 20th. So what's going
let's go
on?
Amazon. The 20th. Yeah, it looks like it got pushed back. Yeah, I'm hopeful that's good. Mario parties have been
Maybe
hit or
they're going to
miss.
be like, well, let's put Waluigi in it. He's not in it or something, Let's put Toad in it. Or Toadette. I hope you can play more characters, because to me it's like, yeah, you play the video games, but I feel like picking your favorite Mario character is what makes Mario Party. Because it's like, yeah, you're going to be Donkey Kong, or you're going to be Waluigi or Toad, and it's like, that signifies like, a little bit of your personality. Do you like to be the hero, be Mario?
But I wish there was I wish that they were differentiated in skills, but I guess you don't want to do that when it's sort of up. You just want to leave it all in the player's hands. But I would like, a little differentiation, or maybe some customization, or maybe you probably play with your Mii's now, or some shit. One edition comes with an amiibo. Those are still big, and I'm surprised you still haven't jumped on the amiibo bandwagon.
They're cool looking, but I'm not going to spend $15 to swipe something on my Nintendo to
it's really
increase my stats. I would buy them if they were cheaper just for collecting.
It seems like it's
getting bigger. It's kind of
piece.
taking off, because I talked to a guy.
It took off.
Yeah, and it's like
shocking. I didn't think it was gonna, because the use in game is pretty lame. Now, I'm not saying it's always going to be that lame, but it's nothing special. It adds a little bit of value to the games, but nothing, that'll knock your socks off and be like, oh, it's a $15 better investment. But yeah, it's gotten pretty popular. Video game wise, we can keep rolling. Rock Band 4 announced by Harmon X. It's going to be out this year.
Dust off your drum set and your guitar.
Is it going to support the old stuff? I forget.
I would assume maybe Xbox 360 and maybe PS4, because USB connection for most of them are USB connections. So I would assume, and hopefully save you some money. But they're going to be like, oh, the new remastered Rock Band 4 controller comes with real strings and
they should I think they should make a more badass controller. But the really nice thing that Harmon X is doing is they're letting you keep your old library of songs. So,
that's great.
That's awesome, because some people, by the end of sort of the Rock Band,
none of your stuff from your old game is compatible with the new version.
Yeah, you're gonna have to Blink-182 tracks somewhere else. It's not a small thing.
You remember paying 99 cents for it, and then it's the same track on the next gen. It's $4.99 plus shipping and handling.
They're gonna ship you the song
on a USB drive.
So that's a good sign. I think people might be ready to play those games again. Those are great party games. I don't think there's any. I think it was just the market got oversaturated, and since people weren't used to downloading, those types of games, they kept seeing on the shelf, an Aerosmith one, an AC/DC one, a Beatles one. They got tired of it. But I think what the business model now is, just release it this one time and you're just going to download all the songs and they're going to, put thousands and thousands of songs on there. So that's going to be interesting. Hopefully the price point isn't too high for the whole thing. I was never good at the drums. I could do anything else. Like the singing. Singing was great. That was where my bread was buttered. Never good at the drums. But I'm happy to see it back because I think
I used to sometimes play the drums but on like easy mode because I sucked on medium. But I used to play like the guitar on hard, and then when we had the Beatles one, me and my sister, and it's such a great game to play with your friends, especially when you're drinking, because it's kind of like karaoke, and but it takes it to the next level.
And you each can choose your difficulty level.
If you're in college, it's definitely a game to buy. I remember my first year in college, the kid on the first floor of my dorm was actually rated like top 10 in Guitar Hero. So you'd walk by his room and all you hear was like the.
And
you'd like listen and be like, oh my god, that's Jordan on acoustic.
Like,
ode to South Park.
There was a limit to how good I could get at that. At some point, I was not going to get any better.
I mean, most of the time you played, most of the time I played, I wasn't entirely sober. So
no,
it was fun.
But sometimes you're better when you're not sober.
Yeah,
because you like concentrate. Like, there's a good level of drunk that like it helped, and then past that. You got distracted.
I would play, right? And then my sister would be like, here, I'm going to put the microphone in your voice, too. So she would play, and I would sing into the microphone.
Oh, while you're playing? No, that's badass.
I'm like, why don't they have a stand for this thing? And then I know they eventually came out with it.
They had a fog machine, too. I always was bugging my friend to get the fog machine. Because that would have just added so much if we could just crank that up.
For some people...
Yeah. We created our own fog machine.
I bought the lights from Walking Dead, from Rock Band.
Yeah, no, it was that whole thing. Yeah, like, it was ridiculous.
How much were they? $100 a piece of that too.
Yeah, I think the fog machine was ridiculously overpriced, and you probably
that came with like the
machine
pack, right? That came with like everything. Or did you have to buy that separately for like $100 or something? The fog machine.
You had to buy. I was like, I think it might have only been like $50.
Because I remember that they tried, like, they thought. I feel like when those games came out, they really thought that they were going to take off so well that they created like skins and like custom straps for the guitars.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's like, I wonder if we'll see that come back again, but like to the next level.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think people will be refreshed to be able to play it again, but I don't know if you can catch lightning in a bottle like that twice. It was certainly cool. I always wanted to play the DJ Hero. I never got a chance to play that. That looked kind of.
I played like a demo of it, and it was just like. I feel like at that point you were like, "This, all right, now they're really falling off right now. Like they're trying one more thing because it's like I know they made like a company like Harmonix or what was the other company that made it? I don't know.
Activision,
right? But they made another one. It was like Rocksmith, whatever. That was the one you could actually plug
real
your guitar
Those are
in,
still.
right?
Those are actually out now for the current consoles, and that's you.
That's like the
plug in a real
one.
Guitar, and you will actually learn to play guitar. And I think critically, I think that one's probably has had the best reception.
Educational.
Yeah, because it works, and you're actually like learning something, and it's a way to teach you how to play guitar. But I'm guessing the song selections they're lacking, or maybe you can add in any song you want. One other thing, video game wise, is. I think we posted this on our Facebook. Maybe we didn't, though. The Project Morpheus, Sony's 3D headset, is going to be released next year. I'm expecting to see it at E3. And E3 is coming up in only a couple months out here in the great Los Angeles, California. So I'm super pumped to see what they do with 3D. I think this is going to be... It's not just going to be a gimmick.
We should try to see if we can get like a press pass somehow.
Yeah, we could maybe, right? This is kind of press.
We need one more follower for 100
We've got
Glenn
on our side. Yeah, we need... Look, folks, tell 100 of your closest friends. Get us to 200 likes by our next podcast. 2 weeks. Give 2 in 2 weeks. Try to tell all your friends... like it, and maybe we get a press pass somewhere. Maybe we can start covering things live, getting interviews. We should have asked Glenn for an interview, but he was enjoying.
His name is Steven.
We all know him as Glenn, but he was enjoying the game. His hometown Detroit Pistons were busy losing, so he wasn't in the best.
Anthony Drummond had a tight dunk though.
He had a great though. That was actually, for two shit teams on the court, it was a quite entertaining game. Went down to the wire.
I mean, for going there, it's like, we didn't really see. We actually saw Kobe. He was suited up. Said, "Hey, he passed Jordan." We're like, "Yeah."
Kobe got the biggest cheers of the whole night. Just being
cool.
shown on the board once, but
walked by Brandon Jennings. I wanted to say what's up to that homie.
Brandon Jennings was the man. I actually saw on Twitter his son had met Kobe last night, and he posted on Twitter a picture of Kobe and his son meeting up. So Kobe transcends generations, because Brandon Jennings is like our age, and he might be slightly younger than us. So
I think he's slightly younger.
He grew up with it. Project Morpheus coming out. I'm super excited because they've apparently put a lot of money in it. It's not just about the bottom line.
Minecraft is going to have a big...
That makes a lot of sense for
Minecraft is going to have a big step in that, because, imagine people walking by their kid's room and he's jumping up and down and he's pretending to dig and shit. Oh my god, it's going to be crazy, bro. But... it's the graphics are simple, so it's you can just immerse yourself in such a simple world. It's going to be straight up Nick Arcade really happening.
Yeah, and the first one we heard about was Oculus Rift, and they got bought by Facebook, and we're not, the general public, we're not really sure where that's at. Hopefully,
didn't we see you could put you can put the Galaxy S6 in it, or the
Well,
Note
that
4
is
in
another thing that came out that's more pseudo 3D. But these are I would imagine the Oculus Rift might lean towards being more software that is of a wider breadth and sort of skews more towards the educational realm. And I think the Project Morpheus, as Sony has showed with the PlayStation 4, they're dedicated to gamers and gaming. So I'd like to see some cool new game experiences on there. And just Madden. I just want to play Madden. I want to be the quarterback. People want to go to the line, look to the left, see there, look to the right, and just sort of have a first-person sports experience. That would get me the most pumped. Obviously, for shooters, it should be great. Stealth games, it would be interesting.
Watch, they're going to make you wear a suit, and you have to jump in this suit, and then you get hit, and you're going to fly. You must play virtual reality in padded rooms.
Because I've seen chairs for PC games where
the driving ones are pretty tight. I've seen a couple of those that are way beyond what I've seen. You think, oh yeah, you can drive a car. I saw one that guy was in a giant robotic thingy built. Yeah, and it was all
that
over the
would
place.
be bad. I would love to do.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And I think Project Morpheus is gonna. I hope it's not a Virtual Boy-esque blunder, and I doubt it will be. Something that awful. So I'm looking forward to Project Morpheus. I think that does it video game wise. We do want to pass along our condolences. Sam Simon passed away after a long battle with cancer. He was a co-creator of The Simpsons along with Matt Groening, helped create a lot of the legendary characters. He was a huge philanthropist, did a lot of charity work, was a big animal lover. So we want to say rest in peace, Sam, because The Simpsons helped shape my childhood, shape my political views, shape my comedy, shape my humor, everything. A big part of me is The Simpsons. Still watch it, weekly. Harrison Ford got in a plane crash. Thankful he's okay. But what would you expect? He had a Wookiee by his side driving a fucking spaceship.
Millennium Falcon, sir. Not just a spaceship. The fastest ship in the galaxy, sir.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, he lives on the edge. Thankfully, he's okay.
When it happened, maybe a little too soon, but when it happened, I was like, how can the captain of the fastest ship in the galaxy crash? It was an A-22 plane, and you saw the plane. It's damn, that's an old school looking plane.
Old. That was apparently it's
so kind of badass too. So
but and then, why are you flying something that's 80 years old? Don't fly something.
Dude, but he walked away with a scratch on his head.
Yeah. Crashed apparently on a golf
force
course
is strong with him.
With all doctors there, so he was okay. He's badass. He got hurt on the Star Wars set. He's
coming back for Blade Runner.
He's 72. He's living it. So mad respect, Mr. Harrison Ford. We are gonna now move to a game I have prepared for Sean. And by prepared, I mean I found trivia questions on the internet about Power Rangers. And I don't know any of these answers, but we're going to see if Sean knows.
You're going to cue the that theme song right here, bro.
Do, 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 do. Close and Sean. Do, 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 do. Right now. Do, 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 do. Let's go.
No, I'm not going to lie. Power Rangers, some of the theme songs for when like the Green Ranger would come out of the marriage. It's like Rocky-esque, but badass. You know, like the Rocky ones.
You don't
the
think
Rocky
Rocky
ones
is badass?
The Rocky ones are great. It's like it's time for a montage. But the Power Ranger ones were like rock anthems. It's like, go Green Ranger.
The Rangers were definitely like a '90s sort of
they're
montage
badass
music, but Rocky had that '80s montage music on fucking lockdown. All right, let's see what you got. These are original multiple choice, but I'm not going to give you the multiple choice since
you feel like
since you're older. Yeah, some of them are true false. All right, this is an easy one. What were the names of the original 6 Rangers? The names. First name. Original 6.
Jason, Zach, Kimberly, Trini, Billy, Tommy.
Correct. You almost got it, too, in the order they had them there, which I really would have freaked out.
The order that they morph?
I mean, you can say it, but I will have no way to verify it. Then Power Rangers, Zeo, Kimberly broke up with Tommy through a letter. True or false?
True.
You're correct. 2 for 2.
He kind of disappeared at the end of...
She broke up with Tommy through a while, so...
Yeah, she moved on and then they got Kat to be the Pink Ranger.
She's a fucking... What a bitch.
They're both... You know what's funny? Both Pink Rangers and both of them were awesome. Equally as awesome. Equally as hot. Amy Jo Johnson, awesome, super talented person. But I think in terms of like the hotness, nothing beats Kat's accent. She had like an Australian.
I'm gonna.
She had like an Australian
accent. Who is this
accent.
person? What should I Google?
I'll look it up. She had an awesome accent. Probably one of the hottest ones. And it's funny because the Pink Ranger from Zeo, they always made her love. The Pink Ranger always had to love Tommy or the Green Ranger, and I thought that was such
Kat Hillard.
Yeah, she's probably my favorite Pink Ranger.
Alright, she's all blonde.
Because I like Zeo a lot. Zeo's one of my favorite ones.
Australian-born actress Catherine Sutherland. Doesn't seem like she's done too much.
I know she's pretty tight. She's always at the Power Morphicons too.
Okay, so she's staying connected to the fans. Okay.
She's tight. I mean, I feel like they know how big when they got into it. They knew how big it was because it's so big in Japan. You know.
Okay, I dig it. All right. Number 3. Which order of Power Rangers seasons is correct? We can't do that because I don't have the multiple choice things up. We can go back to that.
I can tell you them. Let me just tell you what it is.
Oh,
how many
do you
episodes
know?
are in there?
Okay. No, the order of the season. So I
know the first like 5. I know the ones that
There's 5. There's 5.
Oh yeah, I can do 5.
All right.
Mighty Morphin, Zeo,
Yep.
Turbo.
Correct.
Turbo went to space.
It's called just Space. Yeah.
Space.
Yep.
Lost Galaxy.
I don't even know where I
And then
stopped.
after that, I watched
Turbo.
it all the way up to Turbo. When they went into space, like Zordon was gone. None of the original OG crew was there. So you were kind of like, and like I remember one of the last episodes with Turbo actually has the Ninja Turtles meeting the Power Rangers.
What do they mean?
You can YouTube it. Oh yeah, because at the time the '90s one were really big, and they made like that had its own sideshow, and they introduced a female Ninja Turtle to it. So
with boobs? Did the female Ninja Turtle have boobs?
She had like larger
shell
sedge
bra?
plates.
That's the weirdest.
It was weird, man. She didn't have a bra, but like.
But you could tell she was a chick. Did she have hair?
Keep saying like all the time.
Yeah, it happens. We have. So how did you know she was a girl?
Because it was introduced as a girl.
That's weird. I don't know.
It was baby blue. Her bandana was baby blue.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
I was like,
that would have screwed up.
Make it yellow or pink.
That would have screwed me up sexually more than I already am. So thankfully,
I love the blue. You like
last
the girl?
thing I need.
You like the girl one, bro?
Last thing I needed to be was attracted to a turtle growing up. Which Power Ranger made a return in Power Ranger Zeo?
Jason, the Red Ranger. He came back as the Gold Ranger.
You are correct. Catherine was Tommy's first girlfriend. Hold on. Catherine was Tommy's first girlfriend in the Power Ranger series. True or false?
False.
That is false.
Second one. Kimberly was the first one.
Kimberly was his first one. In Power Rangers in Space, Tommy came back to help Carlos after he accidentally injured Cassie. True or false?
False.
You're right. Do you know who did come back?
What? Okay, so
Tommy
from the original
came back. Somebody came back to help Carlos after he accidentally injured Cassie.
Man, this is tough. From the original OG ones.
I think so. Maybe.
I'm gonna say Johnny.
It's not an original one. No.
I'm gonna say Johnny Young Bosch. The second.
Adam
was. Yeah, that's Johnny Young Bosch.
Oh,
that's Adam.
Who's is that his real name? What you're
that's
saying?
His real name.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Does he look? He's Asian, right? The guy.
They don't show the picture.
Yeah, he was Adam. He replaced Zach.
I think I know what you're talking.
Yeah, he was the Green Ranger. He was in the movie. He was the Black Ranger.
Oh,
in the movie.
the Black. Yeah. What were the names of the Rangers who replaced Zach, Trini, Jason, and Kimberly?
The real names?
No, the names on the show.
You just told me Zach, Trini, Jason, and Kimberly.
Who replaced them?
Okay, Zach got replaced by the homie we just made a shout out to, Johnny Young Bosch.
Adam, you're correct.
Adam. Billy got replaced.
No Billy.
Okay, no Billy.
Trini
got replaced. I wanted to say Aisha.
Yep.
Aisha.
Jason
got replaced by Rocky.
This is crazy.
No, it's so
And who did Kimberly get replaced?
By Kat.
How do you know that? Like, how do you
the best.
keep it? See, I think I watched them, but I just can't keep
I think it was so distinct because of color and Zords. You knew what color they were. You knew what animal or mythical creature, whatever the hell they represented. I think it had it so organized by color and, like, thing that it was...
color and thing.
I think that's why it was
very
easy to remember.
Pretty damn good so far. I haven't been keeping track just because I've been fucking astounded and impressed. Justin replaced Rocky due to injury? True or false? Yes, he did. And okay, in the movie,
a fighting tournament.
In the movie Turbo, Justin finds out that Rocky and his friends are Power Rangers, and he has to replace an injured Rocky. Yeah. All right. Justin does not leave with Carlos, Cassie, TJ, and Ashley because
Carlos does not leave with them.
Justin does not leave with Carlos, Cassie, TJ, and Ashley because
somebody else takes his spot. I don't know.
His dad. I don't know.
I think his dad has cancer or something. Okay. That's right.
All right.
That was the kid who wanted more if they made him taller. It was so stupid. I mean, no offense to the guy. I just didn't care. He was cool when he was the kid the whole time, but I just didn't like... If it was the same guy, the same actor, like as an adult more, or actually representing a teenager rather than a child, I think I would have liked it a little more. Because he's kind of annoying in the movie. Guys... But I'm the new Blue Ranger. It's like, okay, it's a child.
Sounds like a douche. In Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, Leo became the Red Ranger after his brother gave him the Kaiser Sabers?
I'm going to say false.
Before falling into the earth. It was true.
I didn't watch Lost Galaxy.
Alright, and then this one you probably won't know, but we'll try anyway. Power Rangers SPD is the only Power Rangers season to have 7 Rangers. True or false?
False, it has 3.
It has true, it does.
That I do know.
They were Omega. No, it was true. You were wrong.
There were 7?
Yeah. They were Omega and Shadow Ranger and SPD Red, Blue, Green, Yellow, and Pink.
Omega, Shadow,
SPD Red, Blue, Green, Yellow, and Pink. I don't know what does SPD Red mean.
That's just the name of it. It was
a
special.
Thing. Okay,
it was abbreviation for something. Red.
Well, Sean, you did pretty well. I'd say your Power Rangers credibility is at its highest peak.
Well, I try.
You try. You do well. I think the fans can now.
Let's do a little recap. I'm going to do a slight recap in sports. I don't know what the Eagles are doing. They just signed Sam Bradford. They traded
for Sam Bradford with Nick Foles. So Philadelphia's up in arms.
Let's just hope they do something to help Philly fans get a little more excited about what is going on next year. We hope they make the best decisions And of course, we hope they fly well and achieve many victories next year. Regardless of who we get, we want them to stay healthy and hopefully be able to finish the season. As well as the Sixers. They just beat the Hawks a few weeks ago. Pretty pumped for the Sixers. We hope they're doing smart things too. You can always check out on the Facebook the Philadelphia Sport News that we host, and lots of the posts that we share from other websites. We look forward to talking about next week. Chris Pratt going to do Ghostbusters. There's lots of news that happens.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get to mention the Ghostbusters news, but yeah,
there's tons of things we're going to talk about next week. Probably Ghostbusters being one of them. A little more Walking Dead. Next episode is going to be crazy, and probably some updated video game news. You never know that the media changes all the time, especially with entertainment. So we're excited. We will be back next. Well, I hope maybe a week or so.
Yeah, this week, next week. We always show back up, people. Don't worry. All right. Well, good week, everybody. Thanks for listening. Find us on the internet, on iTunes, on Twitter, wherever the hell you go.
Android, all your devices.
On your Windows phone, on your Zune, maybe, whatever you got. On your Tamagotchi,
Dreamcast,
on your Gamecom. On your Genesis, on your Mega Drive. All right, everybody. Thank you for showing up and listening. For Sean Davis, I am Jason Paul. Take it easy, everybody.